Imagine facing any crisis, a broken relationship, a financial disaster, a personal setback, and knowing you can fix it. Most people crumble. Well, I'll show you the psychological secret behind those who don't. Most people believe that being a natural problem solver is a gift you are born with, like a high IQ or a specific talent. But if you look closely at those who navigate chaos with ease, you will notice something strange. They aren't necessarily the smartest people in the room. They simply possess a rare type of psychological calm. While others feel their internal systems shut down the moment a car makes a weird noise or a relationship hits a wall, these individuals lean in. They don't always have the answer, but they act as if an answer is inevitable. This shift from anxiety to curiosity is the foundation of what we call the omni-solver mindset. Today, we are diving into the mechanics of self-efficacy and why some brains are wired to see a broken world not as a threat, but as a puzzle waiting to be solved. By the end of this video, you will understand how to flip that internal switch for yourself and move from a state of paralysis to one of absolute agency. In the late 1970s, psychologist Albert Bandura identified a concept that explains this phenomenon: self-efficacy. This isn't just empty optimism or repeating motivational mantras. It is the deep-seated belief that you have the agency to influence the outcome of the situation in front of you. When you believe you can make a difference, your nervous system doesn't trigger the defeat response as quickly. You persist longer, tolerate frustration better, and think with more clarity under pressure. Think of it like a muscle developed through what Bandura called mastery experiences. It starts with small wins, fixing a toy, troubleshooting a computer, or resolving a minor conflict. Each time you intervene and see a result, your brain records a vital data point. I can change the world around me. This is why the most capable people often started with small, hands-on tasks. They didn't learn to be brave. They learned that problems are tangible and, therefore, fixable. In 2026, this is more relevant than ever. As the Omni-Solver Initiative trials show in major corporations, those who believe in their capacity to adapt outperform those with static technical skills by nearly 40%. It is the difference between a brain that sees a wall and one that sees a door that hasn't been opened yet. Another pillar of this mindset is the locus of control, a concept studied by Julian Rotter. People who solve everything usually have an internal locus. They believe their actions determine their reality. This is a massive advantage in our current era, where global shifts can make us feel powerless. Interestingly, this trait often develops through two opposite paths. Some learned it in safe environments, where they were encouraged to try and fail. Others developed it out of pure survival because there was no one else to fix things for them. They became the strong ones early on, turning utility into their very identity. But there is a third group, those driven by pure fascination. These are the people who take things apart just to see how they work. For them, a problem isn't a source of stress. It is an invitation to explore. They don't fear the I don't know yet phase. They inhabit it, knowing that understanding is just a matter of time and persistence. Recent data from March 2026 suggests that predictive analysis success rates jump to 98% when individuals apply this internal locus to complex supply chains. They don't wait for the system to fix itself. They find the leverage point and move it. One of the most overlooked traits of those who solve everything is their incredible high tolerance for ambiguity. While most people feel a physical sense of urgency to escape a problem they don't understand, the master solver is comfortable sitting in the I don't know phase. This is a critical psychological distinction. When a crisis hits, the average person interprets the lack of an immediate answer as a sign of danger or personal failure. This triggers a spike in cortisol that literally shuts down the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for logic and creative thinking. However, the one who solves everything views this period of confusion as a necessary part of the process, much like a scientist looks at a raw dataset. They don't panic because they have reframed the problem as a puzzle rather than a threat. This ability to remain in an uncomfortable, unresolved state without collapsing is what allows them to see patterns that others miss. They are willing to try 3, 4, or 10 different approaches that might fail, because they don't view failure as a reflection of their worth, but as a way to eliminate what doesn't work. By training yourself to stay present during that initial wave of confusion, you aren't just solving a task. You are training your nervous system to handle the weight of the unknown. The secret of the one who solves everything isn't a hidden manual. It is the courage to stay curious when everyone else is afraid. If this deep dive into the problem-solving mind resonated with you, hit the subscribe button and join our community of lifelong learners. We want to hear from you in the comments. What is one small thing you fixed recently that made you feel capable? Your story might be the spark someone else needs to stop freezing and start acting. For more insights into the psychology of high performance, check out our next video on the screen right now. Remember, you are not just a witness to your life, you are the one who can fix it. Start small, stay curious, and watch your world change. Beyond the mechanics of the brain and the psychological frameworks we have discussed, there is a deeper layer to the person who solves everything: the transformation of utility into identity. For many, the ability to fix things isn't just a skill they use, it is who they are. This often stems from a childhood where being useful was the primary way to receive validation or ensure safety. If you were the child who had to navigate the emotional storms of your parents, or the one who had to figure out how to repair a broken appliance because there was no money to replace it, your brain began to associate problem-solving with survival. This creates a double-edged sword. On one hand, you become incredibly competent and reliable, the person everyone calls in a crisis. On the other hand, you may find it impossible to relax when things are imperfect, feeling a compulsive need to intervene even when it isn't your responsibility. Understanding this origin story is crucial because it allows you to transition from a compulsive fixer to a conscious solver. You begin to realize that your value isn't just in what you can repair, but in the perspective you bring to the table. To cultivate this mindset, if you weren't born into it, you must start by reclaiming your agency in small, controlled environments. This is what experts call micro-mastery. It could be as simple as finally learning how to use a complex piece of software, repairing a leaky faucet, or successfully navigating a difficult conversation using a new communication technique. Each time you face the wall of a problem and find a way through it, you are updating your internal software. You are moving away from the learned helplessness that keeps so many people trapped in stagnant lives. In the modern world of 2026, where we are constantly bombarded by complex global issues, the most radical act you can perform is to believe that you are not helpless. By focusing on what is within your immediate reach and applying the principles of self-efficacy and internal locus of control, you build a fortress of competence. You stop waiting for a hero or a technological miracle to save the day, and you become the person who picks up the tools. This shift doesn't just solve the problem in front of you, it changes the trajectory of your entire life, turning every obstacle into a stepping stone for your own evolution.